guys, we are live. Today's lunch lesson is on money blocks. Ooh, this is going to be a very sensitive and deeply personal topic today. So buckle in. Hopefully you are kind of going through this journey also about kind of dealing with your past money mindset, right? And how it relates to your business. So I'm glad you're here. If you're watching, just give a little hi or a thumbs up so I know that you're here. Also, if you're watching on the live, type live, or if you're watching on the replay, just type replay so I know who's here Wednesdays at 12 and who's coming in after. I'd love to know that. So thanks for being here. Today we are talking money blocks. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge today, right? Hopefully it's been a journey for you as much as it has been for me. If you are if you're working on your mindset, right? I don't think it's ever done. Just type mindset below to let me know that you are kind of also on this journey, right? To kind of deal with our past kind of money blocks, as well as trying to stay in our abundant mindset and move our business forward, right? That's really the goal of all of us entrepreneurs, mompreneurs. So thanks for being here. I just want to give a quick shout out to the people that voted this week. Mary, Allison, Eunice, and Brenda. Thanks so much for voting. Every week you have the chance to vote. I put out a poll on Tuesdays, so if there's a topic that you want to learn about that could help your business, I would love to talk about it. So you can always message me, you can put in the comments here, or you can vote on Tuesdays. And I'd love to hear from you what topic speaks to you and what you think would be the most helpful to your business. So definitely watch for that. What is this video for? So this video is for everyone who has ever, and I kind of think this includes everyone on the planet, but anyone who has ever felt repeated money patterns, right? If you feel like you are dealing with the same stress, the same patterns, if you are starting to notice those same trials and tribulations with money, then this is definitely for you. You definitely want to stick around for a couple of my tips. I'm going to share my 3 main money blocks and the 3 ways that I have found to deal with them, because I think it's a journey, right? We're always, I think, what we've grown up with, what we have learned, what through our own experiences in our past, we continually have these kind of blocks, right, that kind of creep up every day. So these are ways that I have found to really help. So definitely stick around for that. A quick background. I'm Kristina, if you're not familiar with me. Thanks so much for being here. I have been in business for about 14 years. I always say I started my little Etsy shop, right? That was my first business back in 2010. And since then I've been on Etsy in a couple of different capacities for 14 years, right? So I've really seen Etsy grow. In 2014, my husband and I opened our little dream business. We opened a brick and mortar bike shop, coffee shop. It was really cute. We thought it was great. It was called Bike and Brew, right? And it was fun. And we loved, for 2 years, we were here in our community in Florida, and we loved being a place where people gathered, right? And we loved talking to our customers and serving coffee and selling bikes, obviously. So that was really great. What really, right, that really was the culmination of all of our finances, right? As you can imagine, it took a lot to open that bike shop. It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and money to open the bike shop. And you know, if you've been in business for any amount of time, you know that it is a trial to keep any business open, right? Let alone a brick and mortar physical place where you have to pay rent, utilities, right? All the things. And what I always say, so when we had to close our doors, we were open for 2 years. And when we had to close our doors, it really obviously was a huge money trial for us, right? That was the reason we had to close our doors, was because of money. We never paid ourselves. We were trying to pay all of our bills, but there came a time when we couldn't pay our bills also. And that was a really hard decision, right? It was a hard decision to decide, okay, at what point have you not paid your bills enough where it's time to shut your doors, right? That's really the hardship, I think, of a lot of businesses. Once we closed our doors, I turned it into my mission because I thought every small business is the blood behind every community, is the heart of every community. It is not Target that they are asking, that the Little League is asking to fund their fundraisers. It is not Target that the Police Foundation is asking to help, right? It is the local businesses, mom and pop shops, small business owners that are giving and donating and giving time, money, and effort and taxes, right, to your local communities. So with that, I thought, gosh, it's my mission. And so we closed our doors in 2016. From then, I have been helping other businesses online be seen, right? And I feel like with all the right marketing tools, every business can be successful. So I'm here to share, right, everything that I've learned so that you too can be successful, and hopefully we can learn from each other, right? I really think that if more business owners were more open to working with each other, sometimes as business owners we live on an island, right? And we feel like, oh my gosh, no one else is experiencing these terrible things or, you know, these hardships, and it's hard. And I think we're in a world where we don't talk about money enough, right? And especially as women, I think we are taught, you know, that is, you definitely don't talk about, you know, how much you make. You definitely don't talk about what things cost unless it was a really good deal, right? I think women have turned into these penny pinchers where we're like, oh my God, check this out, I got it on sale. Check this out, I got it on sale. We're always talking about sales. And that in itself is really a money mindset and perhaps a block for some, right? That you can only buy something on sale. So those are all things, right, that we all kind of are constantly swimming around with and dealing with. So so the bike shop was really the culmination of all of my finance trials, right, really coming to a head. And since then, I've really done the work and put in the effort to learn about myself and to figure this out, because I kept seeing the same patterns even after we closed the bike shop. You know, there was still patterns where there were bills, right, that we either couldn't pay or we were figuring it out, or you know, and eventually we had to learn. And so I had noticed that we kept running into this you know, paycheck to paycheck mindset. And I think a lot of us have done that for a lot of years. And it took me a number of years to figure out, okay, this is more than just, you know, it's not about making more money. That's not going to solve the problem, because we would make more money and then it would also be gone. So I think that's something a lot of entrepreneurs deal with, right? So this is, so these are my kind of 3 money blocks, right? The first money block is just that there is never enough. Right? If you have said there is never enough, give me a little wave or something. Because if you feel like, oh my God, here's another bill. Oh my God, there it is again. There's never enough. There's never enough. It's easy to get into that cycle, right? That, oh my gosh, just when you think you have enough before the next paycheck, boom, there's another bill, right? And you're like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. And it can be a really rough cycle, right? And it was for us for a lot of years, until finally I realized I have to get out of this mindset that there's never enough, because there's so much in the universe, right? Even if we make more money, I was still in this mindset. So it's really about changing the way you talk to yourself and the way you talk to money and about money, right? So it really took a lot for me to realize, okay, I change that from, if I start to get frustrated about a bill, I'm like, oh my God, no, I'm paying this bill. And if you're not, you can try and change that, right? If it's a bill that you really hate and that you really don't need, get rid of it, obviously, right? But they're usually things that we need. And so I'm really trying to, and continually, right, trying to tell myself, if there's a high energy bill, I try to thank you universe, right, for this amazing bill, because I have air conditioning. In Florida, right, we worry about more air conditioning. In other parts of the country, you might be really grateful for the heat that you are able to have in your home, right? You wouldn't survive without it. Here in Florida, we would not survive without the AC. So, you know, knock on wood, I'm always grateful for the AC working. So, right, that is the change. So if you are saying to yourself there is never enough every month, and every paycheck you feel like there's just never enough, there's always a bill, think about your mindset and how to change that into there is more than enough. There is always more than enough, right? Because if you feel like your bank account is always going to empty, right? That is always a scary thing. That could be your cushion is just not, that's like your set point, right? I've been reading a lot of books, and I'm going to share my book reviews also, so stick around for that. But that could be your set point, right? If your set point is 0 or less, then you've gotten comfortable with that, and you will continually hit that same set point. So it's really about raising your mindset and raising your vibration to really get out of those same patterns, those old habits, right? And so it really takes a lot. Every time you think about it, you've got to really change your mindset. No, I'm grateful for this bill. Thank you for the air conditioning. There's always enough, right? There's always enough to pay what I need. There's always more than enough. More than enough, I think, is the key, right? Because you really want to start creating and being comfortable with that cushion in your bank account, obviously. So that was a big one, right? That's number 1, the money block. There's never enough, and we change it to there is always more than enough. So tell yourself, are we there? Oh, we had a little, little hiccup. Okay, hopefully we're still here. What I heard from my parents, right, is that yuppies are pricks. It is bad to be rich, right? Tell me, give me a little yes, yes, or a thumbs up if you have heard the same thing. If you've heard those messages in your childhood, right? I think a lot of us did. I think it was kind of the generation, and it still probably is, right? I think about this a lot, that in so many movies, in like every Hallmark movie, right? If you're watching Christmas Hallmark movies, every Hallmark movie, there is either a mean rich person that has to learn a lesson in order to, right, either have a happy Christmas or whatever, or meet that special someone. It's either they're mean and they go on being mean forever and something bad happens to them, or they have to learn a lesson in order to be happy, right? It's always one or the other. It's always that something's wrong with the rich person and they have to fix it. That is the message we see in so many movies and so many things, right? That it's either bad to be rich, or the rich people are mean, or rich people just need to learn a lesson to be nice, or something like that, right? So that's definitely a money block that I try to work with every day, because it is not bad to be rich. It's not, right? Being rich allows you to do the things you want to do. It is a tool. Money is just a tool, and it allows you to do what you really want, help more people, live the life you want. It is okay to live in luxury. It is okay to live with the means that you need more than, or that you have more than enough, right? It is okay to be rich. So that's definitely a mindset, right, that I have to continually work on, because it's ingrained, right? If we heard it all through our childhood, it is ingrained. So yeah, definitely that is a money block that I think a lot of us deal with. So that's number 2. The third one, I think, is what mompreneurs deal with a lot, right? And that is, am I worthy? A little bit of fear creeps in, right? When we start to make money, a little bit of fear creeps in. Am I deserving of this? Am I worthy of making this amount of money? And it goes a little bit back to the yuppies are pricks, right? It's a little bit of, am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? And a little bit of that imposter syndrome, right? Who am I to make this money? Who am I to want this? And that's a mindset, right? We really have to change our mindset to tell ourselves we are worthy. You are worthy, right? You are worthy of making money. You are worthy of the skills that you have developed over years, the experiences you have learned from. That is of value, and you should be paid for that, right? We all have a unique perspective. That's why I say the coaching world is never saturated, right? Because everyone has a unique experience. And can you imagine if we could all absorb from each other everything that we've learned? We have all learned different bits and pieces throughout our lives, that if we could just come together and learn from each other, I think we would all be far more successful, right? I really believe that. So I really believe that every person has a unique perspective, and that is valuable, right? That is something to offer people, and that is something that people will get from you and should pay for it, right? I really believe that. So often I say this: if you are thinking about coaching, right? If you are thinking about buying coaching, whether it's from me or someone else, definitely every time I have invested in myself, it has moved my business leaps and bounds forward, right? And I've heard this before too, recently in a book that I'll share, and politically, right? I've heard this too, that if there's a problem, throw everything at it, right? If this is a problem that you are identifying in your life, throw everything at it, right? Do the tapping, do the meditation, do the crystals, do the money blocks, do the everything, throw everything at it, because we are set in our ways as humans, right? We've learned from our childhood, and it takes everything. So throw everything at it, right? Throw everything at it, whether it's clearing your money blocks, whether it's changing your mindset, saying daily affirmations, all of those things, throw everything at it. And investing in coaching, right? So I say that too. If you're thinking about investing in coaching and you're a little bit fearful, think about if you are fearful because you're not sure it's going to work, or if you're fearful because you might succeed. That's one, right? And so every time I have put myself out there and invested more than I felt comfortable with, I got back more than I invested, and I always got back certainly the valuable and the lessons and things that I could apply and move my business forward. So it has always been beneficial. And I've heard this a lot, right? Many of you have probably heard this too, that often if we're fearful about investing in our business, it is our own ego playing safe, right? It is our own ego saying, hey, no, don't get too big. It's scary to get big, right? That's out of our comfort zone. That is change that we're not comfortable with. And it is your ego keeping you small. Every time you want to make a change or take a step out of your comfort zone, your ego usually pops up and is like, hey, no, this is scary, right? Careful. Hello, danger, this is scary. So fear and doubt really creep in, right? So those are things to keep in mind. If you are planning to invest in your future and invest in your business, it is so important. The big secret I always say is that all successful coaches use other coaches, right? That's how we all learn from each other and can take pieces of every bit and put it into our own practice, right? That's really how we learn from each other and move forward, because we can get so stuck in our own business, right? It's really hard if we're like, oh my God, I've been doing this for forever and it's not working, but I don't want to get out of my comfort zone, because then that would, make me, that would be scary. So anyway, those are all things to kind of consider. So those are my big three money blocks. So now I want to share with you the three things that have really helped me clear my money blocks. And it's a daily journey, right? I really think there are situations and things that happen in everybody's daily lives that really can affect or creep up the doubt and fear, or those old money blocks, right? It comes up all the time. So here are my three things. Number one is reading books. Right? And I know that sounds a little cliche, but if you are someone who listens to Audible, type Audible below, because that is my saving grace, right? I really feel like I was not a reader before, and I still am not. I find it really hard to sit and actually read a physical book. And if you are one of those people who is a big physical book reader, then more power to you, because I love the idea of curling up with a blanket, right, on a rainy day and reading out of a physical book. But my mind goes elsewhere, right? It's really hard for me to concentrate when I'm reading a physical book. There's way too many distractions, and then I start planning, my Thanksgiving dinner, and I start planning, next year, and anyway, so it's really hard for me to focus. However, Audible has been my saving grace. So if you are someone who is busy and you're not even sure when you would find the time to listen, I have found that in the shower or when I'm cleaning the house, those are my favorite times to put on some headphones. Obviously in the shower, not so much, but find a safe, dry spot for your phone in your shower, or figure out a way to, put a speaker or something. But that's my time, right? I find that when I'm showering and getting ready, if I can listen to a professional development book, I am so much more in the mindset, and I can concentrate on it, start my day, and it's really motivating. So Audible is really my number one tip for clearing your money blocks, right? Or learning anything about your business or about life in general, right? That has really been the biggest saving grace. So I would say there are 3 books that I recommend that I got on Audible that I really love. The number one book that I think every woman should read is Rich AF, right? If you've read Rich AF, say Rich AF below. I would love to hear if you've read it. If you haven't, I suggest you run now and go get it on Audible or Amazon, wherever. I recently bought the journal that goes with it, so I'm really excited to dive into that. But I just finished Rich AF, and I think it is leaps and bounds probably the best money book about how to just really think about your relationship with money, right? It's a relationship, and it's ever changing, and it's ever challenged, and it's part of who we are, and it's okay to look at that. So that's my number one book. The number two book is another one very similar. It's called Get Rich Lucky Bee, the B word, right? And that is by Denise Duffield, I believe, and she is from Australia, and so it's really fun. What I love about Audible is that usually the authors read the book. So I love that you get to write, and sometimes they kind of ad-lib, like definitely for Rich AF, that's by Amanda Francis. She ad-libs a little bit, and so I love that, getting a little glimpse into her life and what her thoughts are. So I love that. And then for Get Rich Lucky Bee, that is Denise Duffield, and her Australian accent is just so fun to listen to. So I highly recommend those two books. And then the other one that I think is really helpful is, I think it was called Tapping into Wealth. And I'll link these three books down below. But Tapping into Wealth uses that, I forget what it's called. If anyone knows I think it's called ETP or something like that, is the tapping of different parts or different vibration points in your body. And I really think that's a way to elevate your vibration. Because I really think money is an energy, right? And your mindset around it is really affecting how it's coming to you, leaving you, all of those things, right? It's constantly moving. It's constantly moving around you. So if you can raise your vibration about it rather than like, oh, I hate money. Oh, I hate budgeting, right? That's such a hard, then it's always going to be painful, right? We have to really rise above it. So my number one tip about getting rid of your money blocks is to listen to Audible or read a book. And those are my three books that I recommend. The second thing that I think has really helped myself clear these money blocks is to meditate, right? I know that might sound cheesy, but if you're one who meditates, I would love to hear, say meditate below in the comments. I'm always looking for different ways, right? I'm pretty new to meditation. Just in the last year, I've really been focusing on it, but I'm always looking for ways. What should I be doing? You know, am I doing it right? All those things. Those are all questions I think a lot of people have, but I don't think there's any wrong way to meditate. And what really helps me think about either affirmations or, you know, what I want to clear or what's been coming up lately and, you know, what messages I've been receiving. So I really think that's important. So to just quiet your body and be able to listen and kind of focus on those intentions and kind of help clear and forgive some of those money blocks, right? I think that's really important. And then the third thing, which is probably pretty obvious, is affirmations. So find the right affirmations, and I'm gonna post my 20 grateful affirmations that include being grateful around money. I'm gonna include that in the files, so I'll put a link to it below, as well as it'll be in the files above at the top of the group. There's a files tab at the top, so you can always check it there. But I think affirmations are really helpful because you have to find the one that works for you, right? I think there's a lot of different ways to say the same thing, but if you find something that really speaks to you, if you say it over and over and over, especially when you feel those money blocks coming up. So if you feel yourself saying, oh my God, another bill, or oh my God, here we go again. Try and say an affirmation, right? That is, there's always more than enough money. There's always more than enough money. Money is circulating, money is an energy. It's a tool. I choose what to do with it. So all of those things, right? Those are money affirmations. I think are really important. Put them on Post-it notes, right? Put it in your head, write it in your journal. All of those things I think are really helpful. So those are my top 3 tips on how to clear any money blocks that come up for you. So one is to certainly read or listen on Audible, because I think other people's perspective is the only way to get out of our own way, right? It's the only way to get a new perspective. 2 is to meditate and really sit quiet with yourself and be able to think about what's coming up for you, because usually the message will come, right? Whether it's things that you've been thinking about. For me, it's like parts of my body that feel kind of like blocked or achy or something like that, and so I really try to focus on releasing those. And then 3 is affirmation. So some kind of, and it doesn't have to be the same affirmation every day, or it doesn't have, I mean, I think every day is probably good, but you know, whenever you think about it, whenever these money blocks come up for you, if you have something else to change your mindset and kind of say in your mind, it really helps you elevate your mindset and to tell yourself something different, right? I really think those are important. So that's really all I have for money blocks. If you have any money block questions, I would love to hear from you, right? You can private message me if you want. If you want to talk about it, I would love to chat with you about anything that you're feeling, or if this video brought up any feelings for you, I would love to help or just to hear and be a sounding board for you. If you are someone who is thinking about a strategy for your business, I offer a free social media audit, but really we can talk about anything, right? If you feel like your overall marketing strategy is not aligning with your money goals, or and maybe that's a money block for you, right? Maybe you're blocking somehow the mindset that is allowing you, that would allow you to make more money and reach the right clients. So let's talk about that, right? I always include in my coaching sessions, I always include a little mindset portion, and you know, everybody's different. It could be we spend more time or less time on that depending where you're at with your relationship with money, or just mindset in general, right? If you're feeling more abundant, or if you're scared or fearful, a lot of those things will come up. So those are always things that I include in my coaching session. If that's something that ever interests you, I would love to chat more. But if you're interested in that, it all starts with that free social media audit. We can start there and talk about your overall marketing strategy and ways that I can help. So I'd love to hear from you. You can always just say strategy or mindset below, and I'm happy to talk more with you about it. Thanks for sticking around for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you